It seems so empty without the 3 other cubs. No.
And another thing.
No, possibly. Maybe you need to go for a long nap, Monokuma.
Yeah? Yeah!
But if you hibernate, you go into deep sleep. Maybe it's because someone's undermining your game.
Ah!
I love the graveyard shift because it reminds me of people dying.
Really?
So many questions. Fell asleep standing up.
My head! Monotaro! Pull yourself together! I feel like I'm forgetting someone important to me, but I just can't. My head! My head hurts so much, I just can't remember.
If you've forgotten, maybe that's for the best. From this point forward, let's start a new life for ourselves. After all, our baby is excited to meet his daddy, you know?
What?
Daddy? Wait, what? I'm gonna be a father?
What?
What a colossal death flag. I'll be surprised if he doesn't die after that.
More importantly, let's continue the conversation where we left off.
We understand Mew plotted the murder, but we need to find out who killed her.
And in order to figure that out, we need to understand Mew's actions. So let's discuss her murder scheme step by step.
Why did she do what she did? Let's go from there.
I know that's important, but hearing you lead the conversation really pisses me off.
Let's see. Mew manipulated the virtual world to use it as part of her murder plan.
Don't just ignore me and start anyway.
If she had succeeded, she would have gone past the wall between the chapel and mansion. And then wham! Murdered me on the roof with the hammer.
She would make the murder seem like it happened in the real world, and then pin it on Kaito.
As for Mew's alibi in the real world, she could say she was locked into the virtual world. And in the virtual world, she could say she was near the chapel the entire time.
She'd make an excuse about how she couldn't reach the mansion because of the fallen bridge. She dropped the bridge on purpose so she could separate the chapel from the mansion. Then secretly passed through the wall she installed and took advantage of the loop. After, she headed to where we were supposed to meet up, the mansion's rooftop. Oh yeah, Kaito was probably logged out around that time too.
That's when I saw Mew.
Problem is, because of her murder plans, we don't even know where she was killed.
She was killed on the roof, right? Kokichi told us the roof door was locked and that he couldn't get through.
Maybe that when culprit killed her.
That's probably what happened. The culprit killed her on the locked roof.
Did the culprit lock the door to the roof?
Perhaps. I don't think Mew did it. If Mew did lock it, she would have done it when she called Kokichi to the roof. Even if someone came up, I don't believe she would change the target of her plan. She knew that Kokichi would come up later. Locking the door would be suspicious.
Well, it's possible she didn't even think that far ahead.
She was smart, but she was also really, really dumb.
Smart to a fault, I should say.
No say such mean things.
But they're true.
Killing game bad, not Mew. Mew not bad person. Grown to think we could have been friends, if things different.
Aw, Gonta.
That might have been difficult, even without this killing game.
She would have turned out to be a friend with benefits, if anything.
That wouldn't happen.
Nuh-uh. No way, Jose.
Huh?
Anyway, let's continue the discussion. If Mew was killed on the roof of the mansion, the culprit must have moved Mew's avatar to the chapel after killing her, right?
So the next thing we should talk about is how they moved her avatar.
Now we know the mansion and chapel were actually next to each other. But the problem is the wall between them.
Only Mew was able to go through that wall. The culprit wouldn't have been able to.
Then you're saying the culprit sent Mew's avatar through that wall?
Yeah, that's the only way, right?
But how did the culprit send Mew's avatar through the wall?
Oh, I just got it. Oh, that's clever.
I mean, it's not like they could have thrown her.
Not throwing?
Go to not throw her!
Well, duh. Of course you didn't.
We know. You couldn't because the avatar's physical strength was equalized.
Physical strength equalized? That problem. Gonta no can protect everyone if that happens.
Jeez, keep up with us. We're already in the second half of the class trial.
Was that a fourth wall break?
How did they send Mew's avatar to the other side of the wall? Maybe that thing has something to do with it. You know, the loud sound you heard? Because of that sound, you guys went to the side of the chapel. Right, Keyboy? That's when you found the dead Mew there, right? If so, then I think that sound and her avatar being by the chapel are related.
Oh, yeah. Let me at it. I think I got it. What could that loud sound have been? Something slamming hard into something else? What could it be? Shuichi, what if it was Mew hitting the fucking wall?
That's it! I think the sound came from Mew's avatar hitting the chapel wall. The hammer, cell phone, and lattice were there, but they were too small to make that noise. Ruling those out, the only other explanation is that the sound was Mew colliding with a wall.
If that's the case, Mew's avatar must have hit the chapel wall really hard. We felt the impact all the way from the inside of the chapel.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's the real question. Mew's avatar probably hit the chapel's wall with pretty considerable force. But why did it hit the wall with such force? Can you guys figure it out?
Hold on, Kokichi. What's up with the way you're talking?
Well, he, like a lot of us in the audience, have probably already figured this out. But the game is kind of stringing us along for the ride.
Why are you talking like you know everything?
A very good question indeed.
Let's not worry about that right now. More importantly, we gotta solve the mystery. Fighting among friends is a waste of time.
Friends? Us?
Absolutely, we're all buddy-buddy here.
Anyway, can we talk about that after we figure this problem out?
A way of transporting Mew's avatar that would cause it to crash into the chapel.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, only one way of how that could have happened.
Hey, Shuichi, as your partner, I'll give you a little hint.
But what if I've already figured it out?
You what?
Since the mansion was on top of a hill, the roof was pretty high up, right? Past the brick handrail, the roof was at a pretty steep slope. And the slope faced the chapel wall. On top of that, there was snow on the roof. If the culprit needed force to move the body, I wonder how they did it.
Kokichi, did you just give me the answer out of pity? Or do you really not believe I can't get it? Okay. Yeah, he's got the whole thing figured out. Okay, well, for the people in back, I guess we should solve it for them. How to make Mew hit the chapel wall from the roof of the mansion. You're going to find the answer because you should already know it. Alright, Hangman's Gambit time. Yeah. Wow, I can't believe he actually gave the answer. But, you know, at this point, I think... found you. Yeah, there's a hidden Monokuma in here. Go figure. I actually really like this solution. And I'm glad we just kind of, skipped the middleman and went straight to it. Because, I don't know about you, but this case is going a little slow. Just a tiny bit. Not so much that it feels like, hey, can we actually get to the point? No. They have to kind of go this slow because there are so many moving pieces.
I see now.
The culprit used the sloped roof as a slide for Mew's avatar.
Slide?
Whee! Splat!
Aw, man. Even with the slope and the snow, Mew's body wouldn't have slid.
Wrong. It would slide.
But the avatars can generate friction. We wouldn't have been able to walk otherwise. So I doubt that it would have had that much momentum.
No. It would slide.
It wouldn't slide, just like Maki Roll said.
But it would.
It would slide, just like Shumai said.
What?
Who the hell is Shumai?
I don't know.
Oh, he's a pupil of Ramen Man. Sorry, my hobby slipped in.
Nerd. But how did we get her to move? There you go. Maybe they used a little something to get her to move.
Even if her avatar slid off the roof, would it slide off that quickly?
Well, duh, it would.
If it made that much noise, He must have built up a lot of speed.
Lots of snow piled up en route. But not frozen solid, right?
You'd still slide, though.
In the real world, it might be difficult. But in the virtual world, perhaps not.
That's not the issue. Sliding down snow is easy to do. You just need a sled or skis to cut the friction.
There was nothing like that around, though.
Oh, God. Oh, God, it was that last statement. I kind of figured that's what they were going to go with. As soon as I saw it around her, I kind of figured, yeah, that's what they're going for, but I just didn't know how it fit together. But now that I know about the different sides being flip-flopped, and now there was just a small wall in the middle of the two buildings, yeah. There was a makeshift sled made to get Mew's body across the wall.
But in the virtual world, perhaps not.
They used the lattice near the chapel.
Sliding down snow is easy to do.
Oh yeah, it's really easy to do. You just need to use a sled.
There was nothing like that around, though.
Oh yeah, there was.
That's wrong! No, wait. There was something that could have been used to help slide Mew's body. Do you remember the lattice that was found by Mew's avatar? The culprit laid her on top of that, then used it as a sled on the roof. I did notice the lattice in the storage room when I first looked. But during the investigation, I saw that it was gone.
You better believe there was a back door to this one. There is actually something that could have been used as the sled in a different way. And it's actually the first bullet you have right here. But which statement?
It would.
Which statement could you use on it?
That much noise.
I'm starting to think that when they were putting these together, they were thinking, you know, it would be really cool if we use the exact same statement, but have the truth and the lie be different. That sounds interesting.
It might be difficult.
I'm going to assume signboard used as a bridge is going to change to signboard used as sled.
Sliding down snow
That
is
sounds
easy
like
to do.
the better
You
lie.
just need a sled or skis to cut the friction.
There was nothing like that.
I'll reveal the truth. There was something the culprit could have used to slide the body. The signboard.
Now, knowing what we know, does this actually match?
The signboard?
You put Mew's body on top and use it as a kind of sled.
You could use it to slide the body, but the signboard we used as a bridge was the only one. The culprit couldn't have used that signboard as a sled.
I mean, it could have. Hey, Kokichi.
What if there was another signboard?
Huh? Another one?
What if?
Do you remember the first time I went to get the signboard? There were actually two there, but I only brought one. The culprit must have used the other one as a sled.
But then why did Mew say there was only one signboard?
It was a lie.
To mislead us. She was planning a crime after all.
Pooh! Pooh!
I love it. I love it.
Oh my god! That line was so cringy! Stop, my stomach hurts! Wow! Shuichi is lying on purpose! Are you trying to spice up the class trial too?
Sure.
What Shuichi just said was a lie?
Well, so much for the bailouts, you dick!
Kokichi, I was the only one who went and got the signboard. Only I saw them. So why do you think I'm lying?
Because I know. I know the culprit. And the whole trick.
What?
Oh, yeah. I had a feeling he knew exactly what was going on.
Then tell us! We can put an end to this class trial right now!
I could tell you, but I think we should save the best for last. Even if I told you, would you guys really believe a liar like me?
Good point.
I could be lying about knowing who the culprit is for all you know.
What?
Oh, yeah. It's almost like he was there for the entire thing, maybe. You know, if all of this is just to spice up the class trial... Hate to say it, but it worked.
This doesn't mean all of Shuichi's deductions are lies, you know. You're right about the culprit putting Miu on a sled and sliding her down the roof. But instead of a sled, they used that thing from the storage room on the roof.
You mean the lattice, right? When I first looked in the storage room on the roof, I saw the lattice there. But during the investigation, I saw that it was gone.
The lattice that was found next to the chapel is the one that disappeared from the roof? Then that's it. The culprit used the lattice as a sled.
Ding, ding, ding! That's correct! After the culprit killed Miu on the rooftop, they placed her corpse on a sled and slid her down the roof's steep slope.
The sled picked up speed, flew off the roof, glided through the wall only objects could pass through, and hit the chapel.
The impact made all of her belongings scatter, including the hammer and cell phone.
So much disrespect for Miu's avatar, good god.
Just like that hedgehog who loses all his rings whenever he crashes into stuff.
Don't say it. Don't say it. I think Sega's listening.
I hate that guy and his worldwide fame and his stupid games, and I hate that hedgehog!
Eggman would be proud.
Daddy, I'm glad you're feeling motivated again, but you shouldn't be so hateful. You gotta be an example to our new family.
Yeah, Father. Or should I start calling you grandfather now?
Now that we know how the body slid down, we're just one step away from the culprit. Well, Shuichi, do you know who the culprit is?
I can guess. The culprit.
Yeah. In the end, we'll still need to guess the culprit, huh?
But Gonta can't believe one of us killed Miu.
However, since we know she was killed on the roof, we can narrow down the list of suspects. Meaning, the culprit must be someone who was investigating the mansion. Aside from Miu, the people at the chapel could not go through the wall or cross the river.
So that means the suspects are Kaito, Samugi, Shuichi, and Gonta.
That's real sneaky, leaving yourself off the list.
Oh, you got me.
Of the 5 people, who's the one that's acting the most suspicious? Only one of them. The one who's yanking the chain. And yeah, I think we caught them in a lie, too. But why would they lie, I wonder? So what are we doing next, dude? We get to make an accusation, and I think you all knew where this was going. Your time to shine, shithead.
It's you!